In the shadows of the old Lincoln Junior High School on the east end of Huntington, there is a garden, a community garden tended by a young woman whose purpose is to make her hometown a better place.
My name is Jeannie Harrison. I am originally from Nitro, West Virginia, but came to Marshall as an 18-year-old and fell in love with Huntington. Why did I fall in love with Huntington? I started learning about the concept of a sense of place when the Create movement was arising in West Virginia. There was Create West Virginia and Create Huntington, and people started talking about this sense of place, and I thought, what is that? So I was sitting at Starbucks in Pullman with some friends one day, and I looked around and I had this sense of ownership over my city. For the first time, I felt like I can look at something and see how I want it to be different and see that I have some say in that.
And so from that resolution and a series of other community-oriented initiatives, Jeannie Harrison started Grow Huntington.
So GROW seeks to connect people in the community to nature-assisted healing and personal growth and yoga classes as a means of community rehabilitation. We work with people in recovery, but we are rehabilitating the entire city. What I want you to think about today as you move forward is making space in a moment, really just feeling what you're doing.
Serenity Lynch, a Marshall student who is doing an internship at the Grow Huntington farm, spends 15 hours a week with Grow and explains why she thinks the Grow Huntington philosophy works.
People are dissatisfied, people are stressed out, there's health issues rampant, addiction of course is one thing, but there's also a lot of other stuff, and personally I really feel that is because we're just kind of in disharmony, with our habitat. I think this just creates a space for people to be able to interact with the earth and with people, and especially I think the whole idea of seeing a plant and having a garden, you have to understand that patience, right? Because you plant something, it doesn't come up immediately. You have the whole process of weeding and, pruning the plants and stuff like that before you finally get an end product. And I think that's a really important lesson for people to learn. Because I think that's the way that life is, and I think that's why people are so stressed out now, is because we've gotten into that instant gratification here and now, and that's just not how the world works. It's not how we work.
Got a little bit of trouble with the law. I decided to take a bunch of things that weren't mine to feed my addiction.
Fell into drugs. I was about hardcore. I was about 18, 19 years old, senior year in high school, experimenting, and all the way through college.
I've gotten in trouble numerous times because of drug addiction.
I don't know, it's just a good way for me to get out and try to give back. I don't know, it gives me a little bit of joy. It's something I haven't had in my life for a while.
It helps me feel good. I know I'm treating my disease when I get out of myself and go help this brother over here or help that sister over there. If I can help somebody, I can, because at the end of the day, and not looking for something in return, man. I get that good feeling in here that tells me, man, you're doing a good job,
So GROW arose as a recovery program because I saw that was the need that was present. Not only is there a lot of addiction in this town, and we are all addicted to something, which is why all of our classes are open to the public, because we're all dealing with something. But from that, other organizations started asking, can we bring you in to talk about domestic violence or work with girls in foster care who have been abused and neglected? Because what we teach through movement and conversation is emotional intelligence, which I define as your ability to live on earth with other people. Have you ever said to yourself, I really just wish my body would behave?
Now, another day, another class, and this time it's at the Barnett Center on Hal Greer Boulevard, and Jeannie teaches a group of young women about chakras and coping skills. These are all women who are dealing with substance addiction and are part of a program at Recovery Point called Her Place.
Early childhood abuse and neglect, that's a big one. If your mother was pregnant with you and was upset about the pregnancy, if she was in constant fight or flight, this can affect the adrenal system of the baby. This can make the baby default to fight or flight all the time. Your body is an interpretation of your inner life. You wear everything that you experience on your body.
All the women in the class are at varying degrees of recovery, and Crystal, who has been dealing with substance issues since she was 15, has been through the process of recovery, relapse, recovery many times since she was a young girl, but is hopeful that this time it will take.
Since I got here, there's not been one thing that I haven't had the ability to learn and grow with from here. I learned a lot of really, really valuable information. She doesn't judge you. And I can be honest with her about a lot of stuff and not feel like, oh my God, I'm gonna feel stupid and they're gonna look at me a certain way. And with a lot of what she teaches, it's hard for me to describe it. I'm not really good with words. Instead of it being like a textbook educational type thing, it's like actual spiritual education. Is that, I mean, I don't know exactly how to put it. It's like all these feelings and emotions and stress and like all this stuff that I physically feel, all the chaos and just like the little pieces of serenity and stuff. It's like in her classes, it helps me recognize certain things, and it helps me, you know, a lot of stuff she teaches helps me get back to that calming down thing, because I'm a very, very, very nervous energy person. Like, I'm all over the place all the time. Since I started taking her class, especially with her grounding, that has helped me tremendously.
I completely lost myself. I didn't know who I was. I forgot about things that I like to do. And now I just like love everything, seems like. Like I get excited really easy. Just even in Jeannie's class, like something will click and I'll be like, yeah, it's amazing. Like,
Okay, now sounds like you've got a new outlook.
yes, that's what I got.
Follow that breath. The breath gets us deeper into poses. The breath makes space for us to feel whatever we feel. So I have been many things in my life. I have gone from being a psychologist to a political theorist to a finance manager to a marketing director and wife, girlfriend, all of the things. The only thing I have consistently been in my life is a yogi. When we yearn for closeness, we reach, right? And we can, even in more subtle ways, start to feel happiness or other emotions, nervousness, in the body. I began practicing yoga when I was 16. I was battling severe PTSD from an assault, and it was the only thing that connected me back to my body and connected me back to a sense of agency over my body. And inhale as you come forward. Yoga actually translates to a trick, and I love that because I can fool my body into thinking I'm safe. We're in our high lunge. Pressing thighs together and remembering stability before mobility. Huntington is this blank canvas in my eyes. We have so much potential. We have knowledge capital from Marshall. We have people who are engaged in their small ways but could really be harnessed to further us. And Huntington gives me that fuel, and that is a sense of place to me. That's why it feels like home. Huntington is ready to be recreated, and it's going to be recreated in the image of the people who choose to stay. You don't have that opportunity in other places. We have the opportunity to create exactly what we want, but we have to invest in it and we have to work hard. But it's there and it's ready for us.